So we are going to start now. We've got a few things to get through tonight. So, and I know everybody is packed in, seeking shelter from the rain and the inclement weather out there. So I'd like to welcome everybody here at Prest for the launch of ARC number 72, the North issue, which I hope you've seen. It's a great-looking issue of ARC. We're very proud of it. And I remember actually, it's probably over about a year and a half ago, a number of us were kind of sitting around at one of our board meetings talking about what the next annual was going to be for ARC, and coming up with the idea that we, looking across and how ARC has looked at poetry across Canada from coast to coast, but I don't think we've ever really made a great reach into the north, and that was really something that we thought about as would be a great, not only a project, but a great challenge for ARC to try to do that, to try to actually stretch what we can do in terms of bringing voices from all across the country to talk about poetry, and to hear all the different voices that we should be hearing, but sometimes we're not so great at gathering. And so that's where this issue came from about a year and a half ago, was having those conversations. And then a bunch of us actually getting together, some of us from the board, and then we also put together an editorial advisory committee made up of Clea Roberts from the Yukon, Robert McGrath from Labrador, Takarlik Partridge from Montreal, and Norma Dunning from Edmonton. And they were joined by a few of us on the board at ARC, myself, Lise Rochefort, Rhonda Douglas, and Chris Jennings. And so over the past, year now, we've had a number of really involved Skype calls that I think usually went on to 3 or 4 hours, kind of trying to bring everybody together from across the country to talk about the poetry that we've been reading and trying to put together what this issue is going to look like. And so out of those many hours of Skyping and getting sore ears from headsets, that's where this issue came from. And so issue number 72 continues the long history of ARC's publishing the best of Canadian poetry. This one focuses on writing coming out of Canada's high latitudes, with writers from Labrador, Yukon, northern BC, and other points north, complemented by the variety of Arctic polished writers from across Canada and beyond. So the issue features work from Norway and Denmark, as well as poems in English, Cree, Innu, and Inuktitut. We've got a huge list of contributors to this issue, including some well-established Canadian poets with long histories, people such as Alice Major or Sharon Thiessen, to a lot of new voices as well, voices that we hadn't heard before. And it's a great, I think, privilege for us to actually be able to bring all of those voices together in one issue. At the same time, I'd also like to thank our many supporters and sponsors for this launch tonight. Those include the Government of the Northwest Territories, Brick Books, and of course Press Cafe here where we are. As well, I'd like to acknowledge the long-term support that we've been receiving from the Canada Council for the Arts, the Ontario Arts Council, and the City of Ottawa. So without further ado, we are going to get right into our readers. We're going to have 4 readers tonight. We're going to start with 2, and then we'll take a bit of a break, and then we'll end with our last 2 readers. I'd also like to remind everybody, especially during the break, we do have books here up at the front. We do have copies of the North issue available for $10 tonight, so that's, I think, around $3 off what you would usually get it for. So please do get them now because they will be cheaper. As well, I'd like to encourage people, if you don't have a subscription to ARC, please think about getting one. It serves it serves the community, the poetry community across Canada greatly, I think, and it also each issue of ARC, and being on the board for the last 7 years, each issue of ARC is really surprising. It's a real treat to actually read because it really is a magazine, one of the only magazines in Canada that focuses exclusively on poetry and also builds the critical commentary around poetry in Canada. And every issue, we really do make a real effort to bring voices from across the country, both the north and the south and east and west. So please do think about getting a subscription. They're $35 for 1 year, $60 for 2 years, and it is Christmas coming up. So if you're thinking about things to get for Christmas, it's not a bad idea.